what's up, y'all? It's Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious, crispy, supreme chicken tacos. We first start off by taking chicken breast. We clean it, we season it, and we marinate it overnight. Then we saute it. From there, the chicken is removed and put on the side to cool. And then we take the pan juices and we add sour cream to it to create a delicious and flavorful sour cream sauce. Then, once that's made, we take our tortillas and we sear that on both sides to get them nice and crispy. Once that's cool, we're ready to assemble our tacos. We add our chicken breast pieces, followed by the sour cream sauce, lettuce, tomato, and black olives. It makes about 4 tacos, flavorful, healthy, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your crispy supreme chicken tacos. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. You will need 4 6-inch in diameter flour tortillas. You can use any other type of tortilla if you like. And over here I have some shredded lettuce. That's shredded iceberg lettuce, of course. Some diced tomato and some black olives. Now you could use any other combination like coleslaw mix, or you can also add avocados, whichever combination you want to use. All right. And along with that, you're going to need some unsalted butter, 1 lime, sour cream at room temperature. And for your seasonings, you will need some salt, black pepper, Tony Sachet's Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Snappy Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some onion powder, garlic powder, mesquite seasoning, ground cumin, and some dried thyme. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. So we're going to go ahead and add our chicken breast into this strainer. And I'm going to rinse the chicken breast off with cold water. Now I like to do this step to rinse off any blood or particles that might be on the chicken breast. And you don't have to follow this step if you don't want to. Alright. Alright, here we have our chicken breast. Now this is a pretty thick piece of chicken breast here. So I'm going to just take my knife and I'm just going to carve it a little bit. Just carve it down a little bit. We could actually do it like that and make some stuffed chicken breast, but we're not making that today. So we kind of cut it down a little bit. Alright, that looks good. And from there we're just going to take the chicken breast and we're just going to cut it into strips, as you see here. Now any piece that might be a little too long, just take your knife and just cut that in half like that. That's all you got to do. And you could cut it into any kind of length you want to. Alright, we transferred our chicken strips into this large Tupperware. So we're going to go ahead and add some seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle about a half a teaspoon of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of Tony Sachet's Creole seasoning, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, a half a teaspoon of dried thyme. Here I have a lime. I went ahead and cut it in half and I washed it and everything. And I'm going to just squeeze the lime. Try to get the juices out of there. Not really much coming out there. I'll do the best I can with it. And that's the other half. I didn't know it was going to be this hard to remove lime juice out of here. Maybe I did it the wrong way. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take my hands and I'm just going to coat the seasonings onto the chicken pieces. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of mesquite seasoning. Gut's telling me to add that in there, so that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and just take my hand and I'm just going to coat all the seasonings onto the chicken pieces. Chicken strips, I meant to say. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this into my refrigerator and I'm going to let it marinate for about 1 to 2 hours, or you could let it marinate overnight. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, now let's get started with sauteing our chicken strips. So in this large saucepan, I'm going to spread some unsalted butter in there. And as long as it coats the bottom of the saucepan, you're good to go. We just want to saute the chicken strips. We don't want to fry them in the butter. So want to add about, I would say about a tablespoon of unsalted butter, and you'll be good to go. Now we're going to let this get hot for about 1 minute. All right, now that that's nice and hot, we're going to add our chicken breast strips. I'll let these marinate overnight for about 12 to 15 hours. So I'm going to just go ahead and add that in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and just give that a quick stir. Now you're going to let this saute for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. As you can see here, the chicken has released a lot of juices. That's exactly what we're looking for. Alright, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes now, and our chicken pieces are done. So we're just going to go ahead and remove it out of the saucepan. I'm going to just let it drain a little bit. I'm going to add it into this serving bowl here. Let that drain off a little bit. Add it into the serving bowl. And there we go. Now we're going to let this cool off for about 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make a nice little sauce with the liquid left over from the chicken. So let's get started with that. Alright, so in our large saucepan, we have our juices released from our chicken simmering right on in there. And to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of sour cream at room temperature. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. And this is going to create a wonderful and delicious sauce for our tacos. Now even if your chicken doesn't release a lot of juices, still when you saute the chicken, just remove the chicken and do the same thing here. Alright? It don't matter. As long as you have something along the bottom of your saucepan, you're good to go. Now we're going to let this simmer for about 1 to 2 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 1 to 2 minutes now, and as you can see, our sauce has thickened. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Now to give you a quick heads up, the sauce will thicken as it cools. Now if you have any trouble with your sauce curdling at all, what you're going to do is you're going to add about 3 additional tablespoons of the sour cream in there and just give it a quick stir and it'll come together. Alright. Now you're going to let this cool completely before you add it on to your tacos. Alright, let's get started with the tortillas. So here I have a tortilla, and I'm going to just take a large fork and I'm just going to poke holes onto the tortilla, and that's going to prevent it from bubbling up during the cooking process. Alright, here I have 2 tablespoons of melted salted butter in a pastry brush. And from here I'm just going to lightly brush both sides of the tortilla off with the butter. It's a very light coating of butter. Flip it over. I'm going to do the other side. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, and from there I'm just going to go ahead and take the tortilla and add it into the hot pan. Now you're going to let this sit in here for about 30 to 40 seconds. And from there I'm just going to flip it over. And again for about 30 to 40 seconds. Alright, all done. Alright, now I'm going to take the tortilla and I'm just going to add it onto this serving plate with the rest of the tortillas. And I'm going to let this cool for about 5 minutes before serving. Alright, now that we have everything prepared and ready to go, now let's get started with assembling our tacos. Alright, now we're first going to start off by adding our chicken pieces. Just add enough in there. You can't overcrowd it because you won't be able to close the taco. So just add as minimal as possible, like that. It's good enough. Alright, next I'm going to add my sour cream sauce right on top. Add as much as you like. Followed by the shredded iceberg lettuce. We have our diced tomatoes. and our black olives. Another thing you gotta do now is just bring it together like that. And after that's done, it is ready to be served. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Crispy Supreme Chicken Tacos, made by New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. Now I have an official website for all of my recipes, including for this delicious, crispy, supreme chicken tacos. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Look at that. It's really, really good. Chicken is nice and tender, and that sour cream sauce, oh my goodness, y'all. It's so good. I can't really explain it, but it also has a little light crunch on the outside from when we seared when we toasted the tortilla, the lettuce and the tomato and the black olives. Everything comes together to create a wonderful and delicious chicken taco recipe. So, give the recipe a try. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.